Speaking of Death Row, did you hear about the Tupac liner notes that came out recently, where he basically dissed everybody? I guess it never came out. It's for the Machiavelli album. It was like a handwritten note. They got auctioned off for like 30 grand, where Tupac dissed everybody. He called Dre gay and called him. I guess he called Dre a closet homo, and
Right.
he dissed Biggie and Lil Kim and all this other type.
The same people he was dissing when he was
Pretty
making
much.
his music.
Pretty much.
Yeah. He reiterated in the lyric notes.
Yeah.
Right. Nah, I went for me 30,000. That's pretty good. I'm gonna see if I can auction off some of my lyrics later on.
Yeah.
Of course,
Yeah,
I ain't
man.
Tupac, but shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Tupac was never one to hold his tongue.
Not at all.
The whole thing with people calling Dre gay, like, what was that even about?
Maybe because he ain't never had no mustache.
What?
I don't know. I ain't never seen no signs of him being homosexual. People, they call that when you ain't got no hair on your face, they call that the booty face. You know what I'm saying?
Booty face?
Yeah. And then, I guess that make you suspect because, you don't push the usual manly image of, the goatee or the mustache and all that. I don't know. I can't call it. Maybe, he keep company with just, people that's on both sides, and it's business. A lot of gays run Hollywood and run things in Hollywood. So, ain't no telling. Somebody probably seen him, in the setting with some other people that, that were gay, and, he was just handling business. Who knows? He ain't never got at me as no gay person.
Yeah.
I done been in several places with him, studios, Hawaii, his house, he ain't never struck me as, he always had women. His situation always been women, so
Right.
I don't know. And then the thing with the world-class wrecking crew, I think they had on lace
Right.
gloves,
Yeah.
sequin, shirts, and I don't know. I don't know how they drew that conclusion, but I don't see it.
Well, I heard that Suge felt some type of way over Dre leaving.
He had to.
He was definitely upset over losing the main creative force.
But he got
behind that
50
label.
million. How you gonna be mad at somebody leaving you $50 million and
Well-
saying, let me go on and live my life?
Suge don't seem the type that could just take a L and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? He don't seem like the bigger man.
But eventually he did.
What do you mean?
He took the L because Dre kept moving. And Dre built something larger than Death Row ever was. Aftermath is larger than Death Row.
Would you say that Aftermath was larger than Death Row? Man, that's actually that's a good hypothesis. And I don't know if I could say that.
Well, I could say it based on the capital.
The capital. Okay, because, you had Eminem. First and foremost.
And then throw 50 in there.
Yeah, then you had 50. Then you had Kendrick. But you had Snoop.
And then you have Dr. Dre himself.
You know, Dr. Dre doesn't, he put out, 2001, of course. You're right. I forgot about that. You got that. But then again, you had Tupac. You had Snoop. You had The Chronic.
I was speaking in terms of success and continued relevance. Death Row's done. That's over with. That's a chapter that's buried in hip hop history as far as a continuance. It's done. The Death Row Resurrection album or nothing like that, I don't think nobody will run out and try to buy it right now. You know what I mean?
Remember Suge put out The Chronic 2000 before Dre put out The Chronic 2000? Because Dre was announcing the album title, so Suge goes and sneaks in a little fake Chronic 2000.
Yeah, had Snoop and everybody on there.
Did he have Snoop on?
Yeah,
I guess he
did.
has. Yeah. Then he had a dude, what was it, The Realist, who kind of sounded like Tupac. So he had some of that.
Yeah. It was wild. But I mean, in terms of music though, I would have to say Death Row was the more successful label. in terms of music that was created.
Yeah. Yeah, because when you said it, it's sort of like I never really thought of it before. But money-wise, probably Aftermath. Impact-wise, probably Death Row.
Definitely, definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
You know, it's just looking at it from two sides of the spectrum.
Yeah. I mean, Snoop is still around, but then again, Eminem is still around. I mean, you know, it's.
But Snoop ain't pushing no death row, nothing. Snoop ain't pushing that. Snoop, which probably he was never affiliated.
Right, but Death Row introduced him to the world.
Did. True.
And that can never be changed. That's just history.
That's true. That's
true. Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting comparison. I mean, both of them are, you know, I mean, shit, Ruthless was a major entity as well.
It was.
You know, and Dre was behind that. He's been
setting
trends since the 80s. Yeah.
He's been a fixture in West Coast music since, 4 decades. So,
Yeah.
You gotta, and he made the right decision. Man, I don't know if I could have walked away from 50 million. I'd have been like, give me 40. You can keep the 10. I'd have had to leave with something, but he had a bigger vision.
Well, I'd also heard that, and I'd also heard that Jimmy Iovine was giving him a big check for leaving. He wasn't just leaving broke. Like, he had a big check, and I heard it was like something like $100 million or something. It was like some crazy amount.
Could have been.
Waiting for him on the other side.
Because they was making stupid money.
Right, because Jimmy kept eating off Death Row.
True.
You know, Dre may have left, but Jimmy kept that Interscope deal was still intact.
It was. It was. Cash cow.
I mean, was Jimmy Iovine really the biggest gangster out of that whole story?
It's kind of like turning out to seem like he might have been, because he weathered a whole lot.
Yeah.
A lot of things that was unfamiliar to his world. Just becoming indoctrinated with what came with gangster rap. And yeah, he stayed down. He stayed down and made some good decisions, and yeah, he got his feet kicked up somewhere, living real good.